I get a cheeseburger, fries, and a shake for under $1 at McDonald's. Now that's going to cost $15 a lot of places. It's just gotten crazy, hasn't it? So here's what the big fear is. There's a French economist. He's actually Irish-French economist. His name is Cantillon, Richard Cantillon. And he wrote in 1755 that he who is closest to money creation, the king and the wealthy, likely benefit from the distributional choices of currency through the system. What does he mean by that? Let me put it in modern terms. If you live in Washington, D.C., and you're close to the government that's printing too much money, you get a lot of chance to make a lot of money from it. And anybody that's got a few assets can hedge themselves against inflation, like go into the stock market, which has just hit 40,000 or so on the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Rich people can protect themselves in inflation. How about lower middle class? How about poor people? Can they protect themselves? No. They live hand to mouth, month to month. And so when prices go up, their wages don't go up as fast. Except in California, where they raised the minimum wage to $20 an hour, and you hit $20 an hour, and as soon as you turn around and you go to Arby's on Sunset Boulevard, they had to close because they can't afford workers at $20 an hour. Or you go to the McDonald's that's still open, and literally it's $15 for a Big Mac, fries, and a shake. Bottom line is, prices keep moving up because wages. Inflation's a monetary phenomenon. It's not that people aren't being paid enough. It's we're producing too much money. And rich people can protect themselves and modest incomes cannot. So what happened in France? He warned. What happened? Well, in 1789, they had the French Revolution. We're seeing a wealth gap here in the United States that is destroying the solidarity of our nation. We saw it during Black Lives Matter. We saw it during Occupy Wall Street. Now look, I am in no way in favor of rioting over these things, but I am fearful that those riots will get out of control if we have runaway inflation. And the Pew Research Center has looked and said, yeah, rich have gotten richer and the middle income and lower income have lost ground. That's what we're facing, social instability. So, have I convinced you of number 3? Inflation creates a wealth gap that hurts the poor and leads to destabilization. Are you convinced?
Yes.
All right, we're going to number 4 now. Governments intend to weaponize currency. It's called central bank digital currency. This, by the way, is their solution to the monetary problem. This is their fail-safe. This is what they're hoping a crisis. You remember Rahm Emanuel, he said, and I quote, "Never let a serious crisis go to waste." So what's the contingency plan when inflation hits? Well, I'll tell you what it is. It's to control people. They don't want to lose their heads to the guillotine. They don't want, Marie Antoinette probably never said the peasants can no longer afford bread, let them eat cake. She probably never said that. That's attributed to her. She probably never said that. But it was true as a sentiment that they just didn't know what was going on. The elites today, unfortunately, I wrote a whole book on this called According to Plan. They know exactly what's going on, and they plan for it, and they're preparing for it. Just like Event 201 in the pandemic. Do you remember that? So here's their plan to take control. And by the way, the last time they said a pandemic is coming, and it got released from a lab in China and so forth, that apparently we've all been funding and paying for them to do this. Dr. Fauci, thank you very much. Apparently, well, guess what? They'd planned control mechanisms based on no science whatsoever. Say 6 feet apart, wear a mask. None of those things work, by the way. They rushed the vaccine, all those things. Guess what? They've also war-gamed what happens when the currency collapses. And here's what they want to do.